Mic test check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check. Mic check. We'll be starting here in about 10 15 minutes. Check test 1 2. Just making sure my audio sounds okay. And we welcome you here to Powers Field for the morning game between the Sixers and the Greeley GOJOs. You're watching this on the Capital City Sports YouTube channel. Let's run down that Sixers lineup. Here is there in the field first, the battery. Behind the plate is Caden Anderson. Around the infield is Fisher Brown, Coulter McAnally at shortstop, Ty Lobmeyer at second base, and Zach Kostopoulos is at first base. In left field, we have Mason Tafoya, center field, Ben Bowman, and right field, Bradley Feaser. The reserves for the Sixers are Keldon Hastings, Keegan Bartlett, Julian Romero, Corey Williams, Hayden Swain, Zach Sullivan, and Xander Jarash. The GOJOs are going to line up like this. Batting first for them is Brendan Fry, center fielder. Second is Jake Kaufman. Third is Nelson Gibbons. Aaron Rolfe is hitting in the cleanup spot. Sam Pease is the designated hitter. Tyler Kubat is playing third base. Hunter Burkett batting seventh. Kevin Hamilton, the catcher, is eighth. And rounding out that GOJO order is Andy Fordyce, the second baseman for the GOJOs. Sixers coming off a win last night against the Rockies scout team. They won that game 14-7. Really got the bats going early in that game after giving up some runs early on. And the Sixers really have swung it well all weekend. See if they can keep that going today. Applegarth, of course, had a relief appearance as he finished up that game on Friday night against the Windsor Wizards. But getting the start here today for the Sixers is Bailey Applegarth. Applegarth, of course, was a key member on the pitching staff off of last year's state championship team. And we are about ready to go here at Powers Field. A very, very windy day here. Cold as Brendan Fry, the center fielder for the GOJO, steps in wearing a hoodie under his jersey. That's how cold it is today, folks. Applegarth, first pitch of the day, misses just upstairs to Fry. A balmy 33 degrees and windy here in the capital city as the 1-0 pitch from Applegarth misses in the dirt, and that pushes the count to 2-0. Anderson getting the start behind the plate tonight after taking last night off where Hayden Swain was the starting catcher for the Sixers. Applegarth deals on 2-0 and just misses low. Does he, as the leadoff batter for the GOJOs, goes 3-0 to start this game. Applegarth working out of the windup. Strike number one on Brendan Fry. Applegarth, the 3-1 pitch, misses low again. So Fry draws the walk to start the game for the Sixers, for the GOJOs. Applegarth will be working out of the stretch now with a runner on first. Jake Kaufman to the plate for the GOJOs. Applegarth looking in, checks on Fry at first base. Kicks and delivers and misses low once again. Applegarth trying to get it locked in here early on this windy day here at Powers Field. Kicks and delivers, and that pitch misses up. It's always tough to throw in the wind a little bit, especially in a crosswind, and manager Ty Lane briskly jogs out to have a chat with his starting pitcher today. Anderson catching his third game on the 3 out of 4 games on the weekend. As I mentioned, he took last night off, but other than that, he's been a mainstay behind the dish for the Sixers, which is good for Caden. Sixers rocking the crisp red tops with the blue 6 hat and white pants with the blue stirrups. Manager goes and breaks up the mound visit, and we're back with the 2-0 pitch. Here, we'll see if Bailey Applegarth can get it locked back in. Brendan Fry still on first base for the GOJOs. Applegarth comes set at the belt. Kicks and fires. Fry is moving on the pitch. Ground ball to Coulter McAnally. Flips it to Lobmeyer second. Turns it to Kostopoulos, and that is a double play, exactly how you want that to go if you're Bailey Applegarth. So, even though he's been a little bit wild early on here, gets the ground ball double play, the 6-4-3 double play. McAnally to Lobmeyer to Kostopoulos, and we have 2 dead here in the top half of the first inning for the Greeley GOJOs. That double play brings up shortstop Nelson Gibbons. Applegarth kicks and fires, fouled straight back by Gibbons. I know it's cold, but every single GOJO player looks to have a sweatshirt on under their jersey, which is an interesting move. Don't see that too often, but wind's blowing, got to stay warm. Applegarth out of the windup. The 0-1 pitch is a called strike, so that double play may have settled Applegarth in as he bounces back and has an 0-2 count here on Gibbons. Applegarth kicks, fires, curveball, misses just upstairs. Pretty good 0-2 pitch there from Bailey. Applegarth ready for the 1-2 pitch here to Gibbons. Gibbons swings it, bounces it out to second base. Lobmeyer scoops it, tosses it over to Kostopoulos, and we have a 1-2-3 inning here in the top half of the first inning. 0-0. We'll be back with the bottom half of the first. We welcome you back here to Powers Field. We have Matthew Oberlander on the mound for the GOJOs, and he'll be facing Sixer center fielder Ben Bowman here to start this game. Bowman started the year swinging it well. He's gotten quite a few hits this weekend. Oberlander, the first pitch, Bowman. Bowman squares around and fouls it off towards the GOJO dugout. Like to see Ben square around and bunt. Really good athlete, runs well, and he's really good handling the bat. Pretty good bunter. Like to see him put pressure on the defense early on in this game. But 0-1 on Bowman. Oberlander kicks and fires. Bowman grounds one to shortstop. He tosses it over, and out number 1 for the Greeley GOJOs. That was Nelson Gibbons making that play for the GOJOs. Ground out by Bowman will bring up shortstop Coulter McAnally, who has started the year red hot. Yesterday he had a 4-for-4 performance in the morning game against Diamond Club with 2 triples. We'll see if McAnally can keep swinging that hot bat. Oberlander. The first pitch is swung on and missed by McAnally. McAnally back in ready for the 0-1 pitch from Oberlander. And he swings and misses at a pitch that was up high. Pretty sure if he sees that one again, he'll take it. That pitch was up near the letters. Oberlander, 0-2 on McAnally. Yep, and gets another high pitch. Tried to get McAnally to chase on that one. McAnally does not oblige that time. Oberlander out of the windup. The 1-2 pitch is way outside. This catcher Hamilton has to reach outside to get that one. So from 0-2 to 2-2, McAnally's worked the count back even, and he puts a breaking ball back up the middle. Gibbons scoops it and cannot make the play off the glove. So McAnally will reach on the error by Nelson Gibbons. That was going to be a tough play, but one that Gibbons probably should have made. So the error on Gibbons brings to the plate Zach Kostopoulos has a chance with a runner in scoring position. The wind is just howling in from center field. The GOJO's outfielders are playing pretty far in, which is a huge shift from yesterday as it was blowing out to right field. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from by Kostopoulos. McAnally takes his lead off of first base. Oberlander checks on him. Checks and fires. McAnally is running, and he is safe as the throw by Hamilton is not on target. McAnally swipes the bag, and I believe that was a ball. So 1-1 on Kostopoulos, the Sixer first baseman. And McAnally moves up to second base. See if the Sixers can put one on the board here in the bottom half of the first inning after getting that 0. Oh, excuse me, that was a strike on Kostopoulos, and ring him up there as Kostopoulos goes down looking. So that's 2 outs on the Sixers here in the first inning. Bradley Feaser to the plate. Feaser getting the start in right field today. Saw a little bit of the time in the outfield last year. As we mentioned earlier this week, departures from Johnson and Hesford, 2 guys that have been mainstays in this Sixer lineup for the last few years. They're going to play college football, so cannot play with the Sixers this summer. So some open spots here in the outfield. First pitch to Feaser misses inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Oberlander kicks and fires. And called strike 1 on Feaser. 1 ball, 1 strike. McAnally still out there at second base. Sixers going to see if they can drive McAnally in here to get the scoring started this morning. Oberlander kicks, fires. Feaser's big swing and a miss from Feaser. So the count goes to 1-2. Feaser, of course, was the opening day starting pitcher for the Sixers, and he's going to see a lot of time on the mound this year. Really talented arm, really talented athlete. Feaser checks his swing, but doesn't matter as the umpire rings him up, and Feaser will take the slow walk back to the dugout. 0-0 here after 1 inning at Powers Field. You're watching Post 6 Baseball on the Capital City Sports YouTube page. We'll be back with the second inning after this. And we welcome you back here to Powers Field. 0-0 game here between the Sixers and the Fort Collins GOJOs. Aaron Rolfe, the first baseman for the GOJOs, will be the first one to face Bailey Applegarth here in the top of the second. And that first pitch misses low to Rolfe. Applegarth got help from the double play there in that first inning. We'll see if he can have a little bit smoother second inning as Rolfe swings and misses on that fastball from Applegarth. Rolfe back in the box and Applegarth ready to go. Apple swing and a miss by Rolfe there. The count moves to 1-2 on the GOJO first baseman Aaron Rolfe. Applegarth kicks and fires and ring him up, strike three, and that is the first strikeout for Bailey Applegarth on the day. So, one out here in the top half of the second inning, and that's more like it for Bailey Applegarth to get this second inning started. That strikeout brings up the designated hitter for the GOJOs, Sam Pease. Applegarth gets started 0-1 on Pease. So, after first inning where Applegarth was a little wild, seems like he has locked it in here in the second inning. Apple fires, swing and a miss, foul tip into the catcher's mitt there. Popped out of it, and 0 balls and 2 strikes on the GOJO's DH, Sam Pease. Pease back in the box, awaiting the 0-2 pitch from Applegarth. Apple fires. Breaking ball misses just outside. Really good 0-2 pitch there from Applegarth. Not sure how Pease took that one. But 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the second. 1 out on the board for the GOJOs, and Applegarth misses low with that fastball. So Pease has worked the count from 0-2 back to 2-2. No hits on the board today. The one error by the GOJO's shortstop, Nelson Gibbons. Applegarth out of the windup. Fires and swing and a miss from Sam Pease. So 2 up, 2 strikeouts from Bailey Applegarth, and that strikeout brings up third baseman Tyler Kubat. Applegarth with 2 strikeouts here in the top half of the second inning. Seems to have really dialed it in. Applegarth out of the windup to Kubat. Is ball low. Bailey back on the bump. His glove in front of his face, out of the windup. Applegarth misses just outside, and that pushes the count to 2-0 here on Kubat. Kubat with the going with the jersey untucked, the hoodie underneath it must make it impossible for him. Applegarth with ball number 3 on Kubat. So after back-to-back strikeouts, Applegarth goes 3-0 on Tyler Kubat. Applegarth back on the mound, see if he can battle all the way back from 3 balls and no strikes. And he gets one in there, and he's on the board there with strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Kubat. See if Bailey can come all the way back. Applegarth kicks and fires. And ball 4. Pitch looked pretty good there from Applegarth, but nonetheless, Kubat draws the walk, and that brings up right fielder Hunter Burkett. Applegarth working out of the stretch as he did in that first inning. Applegarth checks on Kubat at first, fires, and ball. Man, those pitches are looking pretty good, but just slightly outside, maybe a little bit low from Applegarth. See if he can find it here against Burkett. Applegarth checks on Kubat, slide steps and delivers, and that is a strike from Bailey Applegarth back in the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike on the GOJO right fielder Burkett. Applegarth sets at the belt and fires. Fouled out towards the parking lot, but over our shoulder, and the count goes to 1-2. Really windy day here at Powers Field. Outfield is not going to get a ton of work today as that wind is just howling in from center field. A little bit of a crosswind, maybe from left center a little bit. Applegarth, the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and Applegarth has 3 strikeouts here in the top half of the second. GOJOs go down quietly. No score here from Powers Field. You're watching Post 6 Baseball on the Capital City Sports YouTube page. We'll be back with the bottom half of the second inning after this. And we're back here at Powers Field for the bottom half of the second. Oberlander into his second inning of work. Sixers in that top half of the first went down 4. Oberlander faced 4 batters in that first. The error by shortstop Gibbons allowed McAnally to reach. Anderson is leading off this inning. Catcher Caden Anderson takes strike 1 from Oberlander. It'll be Anderson, Tafoya, and Brown here in the bottom half of the second inning for the Sixers. Oberlander kicks and fires, and a swing and a miss by Caden Anderson. So Anderson down 0 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the second. Wind whipping here at Powers Field today. Oberlander kicks and fires, and ball outside on the Sixer catcher. Anderson, of course, a good swimmer for the Cheyenne Central swim team. Oberlander kicks and fires, and fouled straight back off the pole, back at the catcher, Hamilton. Hamilton fires it back to Oberlander. May need to check that ball for a dent. That got one of those poles very solid. Shot back towards home plate. Another 1-2 pitch from Oberlander. Caden Anderson fouls another one straight back and almost hits the exact same pole. That one misses it. Tafoya jogs over to grab it. Tafoya waiting on deck, hoping to get the chance to bat with a runner on base. If Caden Anderson can reach here. 1-2. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the second inning. Anderson takes a breaking ball, and that's strike 3. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Oberlander. So, after 3 strikeouts for Applegarth in the top half of the second, Oberlander continues his streak as well. That strikeout by Anderson brings up left fielder Mason Tafoya. Tafoya getting another start out in left today. Oberlander, first pitch is a strike. Oberlander jumping on these Sixers hitters with his fastball, getting that first pitch strike over early and often. Oberlander out of the windup, delivers to Tafoya. Tafoya fouls one off towards the parking lot. Tafoya spent his time on the diamond last year, bouncing between the Prep and the Hawks, so good to see him in a Sixer uniform this year. Oberlander, ball in the dirt, and the count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mason Tafoya. Tafoya spent a lot of time last year playing shortstop for the Prep team and a lot of short and second for the Hawks, so good to see him out in the outfield. Would like to see him get a ball, but with the way the wind's blowing last night, it was just howling out to right, tough to get one. Tafoya, the breaking pitch, a good breaking ball by Oberlander, and catches Tafoya looking. So that is 4 strikeouts from Oberlander. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second inning for the Sixers. Fisher Brown, third baseman, takes a swing and a miss at that first pitch by Oberlander. Oberlander looking very comfortable on the mound here early on in this game. Sixers had a lot of runs, a lot of hits last night. Not the case so far early this morning as Brown takes ball 1 low and away from Oberlander. Fisher started the opening night game at second base and has slid over to third base the rest of the weekend. Fisher pops one into center field, and Fry is under it but cannot make the play. Makes a diving attempt at it but can't do it, so the blooper will fall for Fisher Brown. It's one that may have danced up in the wind a little bit. I think Fisher hit that better than how deep it went into the outfield, and Fry just could not get there. So Brown with the first hit of the day for the Sixers, for either team actually, first hit of the day in this game. That brings up designated hitter Trenton Rodriguez. Rodriguez was the starter last night, and we'll see if he can get a hit here today. He checks his swing, but the umpire says he goes around, and I would agree with him. Strike 1 on Rodriguez. Rodriguez didn't have his best stuff last night, but grinded through it, gave the Sixers a chance to win, and the bats were hot last night. Picked him up. Rodriguez, the Mount Marty commit, as Oberlander tries to pick Brown at first base. Brown in safely. Rodriguez stepping back into the box here. 1 man down here in the second inning at Powers Field. See if the Sixers want to put anything on. And Rodriguez takes a breaking ball low to push the count to 1-1. Oberlander working out of the stretch. Brown takes his lead. Pretty short lead for Fisher Brown, and Rodriguez takes the fastball inside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Rodriguez. Rodriguez saw most of his time as a pitcher last year, so good to see him in the lineup. Rodriguez takes that fastball up, moves to 3-1. So after the single by Brown, Oberlander goes to 3-1, not 2-1, 3-1 on Rodriguez. Kicks and fires. Rodriguez takes a hearty cut at that one, but swings through that pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. Full count here on the Sixer DH. We'll see if manager Ty Lane wants to put Brown in motion here. He does not, and the pitch is swung on, flared out into right field. Burkett in pursuit, and that ball is going to push foul. So, Rodriguez spoils the full count pitch from Oberlander, and we'll do it again. Fisher Brown makes the jog back over to first base, getting some instruction from Sixer first base coach Gary Harley. Harley, nice and bundled up today, as are most of the coaches. I cannot blame them. Wind is whipping. Brown is moving on this pitch, and that ball misses up. So, after the single by Brown, Rodriguez works the walk, bringing up Sixers second baseman Ty Lobmeyer. So, once again, as last night, if you watched last night, the bottom half of the Sixers order getting on base and really helping out the Sixers offense, helping jumpstart it after the slow start today. Brown is moving on the pitch, and that he is safe. Rodriguez didn't see it. Rodriguez moves up late, but he is safe at second also. Not sure what Rodriguez was doing there. He caught himself caught out in the middle there. If it was a better throw from the catcher to third baseman, they may have been able to get Rodriguez at second, but pair of stolen bases and ball one on Lobmeyer. So, pair of guys on for Ty to try to drive in. 2 outs here in this second inning. Lobmeyer takes another pitch up, so ball 2 on the Sixers second baseman. Ty Lobmeyer worked himself into 4 3-2 counts last night as he sees so many pitches while he hits. I love watching him take at bats. Swing and a miss by Ty on that. Pitch from Oberlander. Oberlander trying to keep this game knotted at 0-0. Couple of runners in scoring position here this morning for the Sixers in the bottom half of the second inning. Oberlander kicks, fires, and ball number 3 to Ty Lobmeyer. So 3 balls, 1 strike here. First base is open for Oberlander, but Ben Bowman waits in the on-deck circle. Oberlander kicks, fires, and that'll be ball 4. So Lobmeyer draws the walk, and catcher Hamilton wants to go out and chat with Oberlander. Things were going swimmingly for Oberlander as he had back-to-back strikeouts of Caden Anderson and Mason Tafoya to start this inning. Single by Fisher Brown, walk by Rodriguez, walk by Ty Lobmeyer, and we're back to the top of the order for the Sixers center fielder Ben Bowman. Bowman 0 for 1 here today. Oberlander working out of the stretch with the bases loaded. Ball low on the Sixers center fielder Bowman. Bowman, kind of like Rodriguez, another guy that was kind of a pitcher only last year, but getting the chance to swing it and play the field this year. And Bowman swings through that one. Foul ball, must have caught some meat on catcher Kevin Hamilton, and the umpire will walk a ball out to Oberlander. By Hamilton a little bit of time. Bowman. Count goes 1-1 on him after that foul tip into the catcher Kevin Hamilton. And we're back and ready to go. Bases loaded here for the Sixers in the bottom half of the second inning. 2 outs. Oberlander fires. Bowman fouls one straight back. Kind of chopped at that one a little bit and just shot up into the air. So 1-2 here on the Sixer center fielder Ben Bowman. See if Bowman can put together a 2-out RBI for the Sixers. Oberlander, breaking ball. Chopped back to Oberlander. Oberlander flips it over to Kubat, and that will do it. Or excuse me, that was Rolf at first base, not Kubat. But Sixers leave them loaded in the bottom half of the second inning. We'll be back with the top half of the third after this. We welcome you back here in the top half of the third inning. Applegarth back on the mound for the Sixers. He struck out the side for the Sixers in the second inning. So we'll see what he can do here in this inning. Kevin Hamilton, the catcher, up for the GOJOs. And Applegarth misses just outside on the first pitch to Hamilton. Applegarth got himself into some control issues in the first inning, but came back, struck out the side in the second, and we're ready to go in the third. 1 ball, no strike to Hamilton as Applegarth gets back in the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike on the GOJO catcher. Applegarth out of the windup. Hamilton awaiting, and ball just inside for Bailey Applegarth. Applegarth 2-1 on the GOJO catcher Hamilton. Hamilton's first at bat of the day. And strike number 2 from Bailey Applegarth. Applegarth, 33 pitches here in this game early on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Applegarth out of the windup, fires, and strike number 3. That is strikeout number 4 for Bailey Applegarth as he takes a walk around the mound. 4 strikeouts in a row for Bailey. Struck out the side in the top half of the second and sends Hamilton back to the bench. And that brings up second baseman Andy Fordyce. Fordyce batting from the left side against Applegarth. Applegarth out of the windup. And strike number 1. After starting the game with that walk, double play, and ground out, Applegarth has gotten 4 consecutive strikeouts going back to the second inning. Applegarth 0-1 to Fordyce. And that pitch didn't miss by much, but ball number 1 to Fordyce. Applegarth kicks and delivers. Fordyce grounds one. Second baseman Ty Lobemeyer scoops it and tosses it over to Zach Kostopoulos. And that will be out number 2. So Applegarth's strikeout streak ends, but still retires Fordyce. That brings us back to the top of the order. Brendan Fry, center fielder. Fry walked his first time around. 2 outs here for Applegarth in the third inning. Bailey out of the windup. Ball just outside. Fordyce squared around there, but pulled back as that pitch was just outside. Just 1 hit here in this game so far, and that was by the Sixers. Applegarth, strike number 1 on Fry. 1 ball, 1 strike here with 2 outs in the top half of the third inning. Applegarth out of the windup. Swing and fouled straight back by Brendan Fry. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the GOJO center fielder Brendan Fry. As I mentioned, Fry walked in his first plate appearance. Applegarth, hair flowing out of the back of the hat. Out of the windup, kicks and delivers. Curveball, and ring him up. Strike 3. Have a seat, Brendan Fry. That is another strikeout for Bailey Applegarth, number 5 on the day, and he retires the GOJOs in order. We'll be back with the bottom half of the third inning right after this. And we welcome you back to Powers Field here for the bottom half of the third inning. This game moving quickly so far. All zeros on the scoreboard. Only one hit, and that came in the last inning by Fisher Brown. Coulter McAnally going to lead things off here for the Sixers in the bottom half of the third. Oberlander still on the mound for the GOJOs. McAnally swings, puts one over the third baseman's head, and a leadoff single. One pitch, and sends it into left field. So good swing by McAnally there. Shakes his hands a little bit. Don't know if he got the barrel on that, but got enough of it to give the Sixers a leadoff batter. That brings up first baseman Zach Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the day. Zico takes a hack at the first pitch and fouls it off over the GOJO dugout. So, Oberlander really has been pretty good in this game. He has 4 strikeouts, given up the 2 hits, 2 walks through 2 innings pitched. But leadoff base runner on for the Sixers here in the bottom of the third. McAnally moving on the play, and Kostopoulos fouls one off straight back, so McAnally will have to return to first base. Kostopoulos steps back in, waiting the 0-2 pitch. And he takes a ball. That pitch looked pretty good from Oberlander. Kostopoulos may be fortunate to still be in the box after that one, but 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Sixer first baseman. McAnally takes his lead. Oberlander kicks and fires. McAnally goes, and Kostopoulos another foul ball. McAnally had that bag swiped off of the pitcher, but Kostopoulos with 2 strikes had to take a hack at that one and fouled it straight back. Kostopoulos awaiting the 1-2 pitch. Oberlander steps off, checking on McAnally after McAnally has attempted to steal twice, but 2 foul balls from Kostopoulos keep him at first base, and Kostopoulos swings and misses at that breaking ball in the dirt. So a strikeout for Oberlander here in the bottom of the third inning. First out for the Sixers, though. That brings to the plate Bradley Feaser, who's in right field today for the Sixers. Oberlander and Applegarth really dominating these lineups right now. We're only in the third inning, and both guys have 3 strikeouts, attempted pickoff there. Ball squirts away from Rolf at first base, but not far enough for McAnally to advance. Feaser back in the box, awaiting the pitch from Oberlander. Oberlander delivers. And ball in the dirt, 1-0 on Feaser. Oberlander not doing a great job of holding these Sixers runners when they get on first base. I think that's something that the Sixers can take advantage of as this game goes on, but you have to have base runners to take advantage of that. Oberlander kicks and delivers. McAnally going on the pitch. Feaser takes the pitch up, and McAnally in safely. Oberlander is just not mixing up his timing and not looking over to first base very often. I think McAnally had him timed up right there. Oberlander, 2 balls, no strikes on Feaser. McAnally on second base. Kicks and fires, and that is a strike on the inside corner on Bradley Feaser. I'd like to see the Sixers get on the board here and give Bailey Applegarth the lead. Nobody holding McAnally at second base. Oberlander kicks and fires. Feaser, ground ball to third base, kicked around by Kubat, and that'll be an error on Kubat, and Feaser will reach safely. Ground ball to third base. McAnally not able to advance, but that is the second error on the GOJO defense. Pretty easy play right there, as Kubat could have thrown Feaser out for that second inning at first base, but just couldn't keep it in his glove. So the error on Kubat brings to the plate Caden Anderson. Anderson struck out. His first plate appearance. McAnally moving. Anderson fouls it off. And Ty Lane drops to his knees. He saw that McAnally had that base swiped, and Anderson swung and fouled it off, so both runners return. GOJOs are just not doing anything to hold McAnally at second base there. That could have been second and third with one out here, but now the second baseman creeps in a little bit. And McAnally not moving this time. Anderson flares one out into center field. Ty Lane going to send McAnally. The throw to the plate is not handled by catcher Hamilton, and McAnally slides in safely. So, on the board on the RBI single from Caden Anderson. Good swing right there from the Sixer catcher. Feeser stays put at second base, but Sixers on the board 1-0 here. Pretty good throw right there by center fielder Brendan Fry. We'll have a courtesy runner for the catcher as Keldon Hastings comes in and runs. But Caden Anderson drove that run in. Sixers lead 1-0 here in the bottom half of the third inning. Really good swing right there by Caden Anderson. Mason Tafoya to the plate now for the Sixers. Tafoya also struck out in his first plate appearance. We'll see if he has the same result Caden Anderson just had after striking out in his first plate appearance as he drove in McAnally with that single. 0-1 on Tafoya. Tafoya swings through a breaking ball. 0 balls and 2 strikes on the Sixer left fielder. Tafoya back in the box, waiting the 0-2 pitch from Oberlander. 1 out here in the bottom of this third inning. And Tafoya fouls it off. Good breaking ball there from Oberlander. Good job by Tafoya spoiling that 0-2 pitch. So, another shot at 0-2 here for Tafoya. Oberlander checks on Feeser at second. And Tafoya sends one back up the middle. Fry makes a sliding play. Feeser was going, did not see that line drive down, and gets doubled off at second base to end the inning. So that double play will end the inning. Good swing there by Mason Tafoya, but the Sixers do get 1 run as the Caden Anderson single puts the Sixers up 1-0. We'll be back with the top half of the 4th inning after this. we're back at Powers Field here with the top half of the fourth inning. Jake Kaufman up for the Greeley GOJOs. And a new pitcher on the mound as Bailey Applegarth's day is done. 3 innings pitched for Bailey, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, no hits, no runs. 42 pitches, 23 strikes. Really good day from Bailey Applegarth. We'll see if Swain can keep that going. Hayden Swain making his first pitching appearance for the Sixers on the year. Applegarth really had his stuff going today. I have to imagine that with his relief appearance on Friday, that's why manager Ty Lane pulled Applegarth at 42 pitches. And Swain misses upstairs. Hayden Swain spent his year between the Hawks and the Prep last year. Really good live arm. Sometimes has some command issues, but mixes his fastball and curveball really well, and when he's on, he is tough to hit. 2 balls and no strikes on Kaufman here early, though. Swain can have command issues at times. And ground ball back up the middle. McAnally scoops it, flings it over to Kostopoulos, and that is out number 1. Really slick play by Coulter McAnally right there. That ball was hit right over the top of second base, and McAnally just slid over, made that look easy. It's amazing how easy he makes some of these tough plays look at shortstop. 1 out for the Sixers here in the top of the fourth inning. That ground out brings to the plate GOJO shortstop Nelson Gibbons. Swain working out of the windup. Misses just outside on Gibbons. Swain out of the windup. And that ball misses up. Fastball up to Hayden Swain. So after going 2-0 to Kaufman, he goes 2-0 to Gibbons as well. See if Swain can get back in the strike zone here. Swain kicks and fires and gets a swing and a miss from Nelson Gibbons. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Gibbons. Gibbons 0 for 1 on the day. Swain working quickly. Swing, line drive to Fisher Brown at third base, and he gloves it for the second out of the inning. Well hit ball there by Gibbons, but just right at Fisher Brown. So 2 up, 2 down for Hayden Swain here in the top half of the fourth inning. Good to see Swain getting his first 2 batters faced out. That line out brings to the plate Aaron Rolfe, the GOJO first baseman. Rolfe 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the day. Rolfe squares around, but that pitch is way upstairs. One ball, no strikes on Aaron Rolfe. Swain out of the windup. Misses just outside. Swain, just a freshman for this Sixers team. He was playing on the Hawks last year as an 8th grader, so going to be a long time coming here for Swain in a Sixers jersey. Swain, strike number 1 after going 2-0 once again. So Swain's gone 2-0 on all of these GOJO batters here in the top of the fourth, but on every 2-0 pitch, he's come back with a strike. Swain, the 2-1 pitch, misses just upstairs. 3 balls, 1 strike on Aaron Rolfe. Be really good for Swain to get a 1-2-3 inning right here and get the Sixers back in the dugout and hitting in the bottom half of the fourth inning. 1-0 here. Sixers lead. And that pitch is flared out into right field. Lobmeyer going back, and it is going to bleed in just in between Lobmeyer and Bradley Feaser. So first hit of the day for the GOJOs is credited to Aaron Rolfe. 2-out single here in the fourth inning. That single brings up designated hitter Sam Pease. Pease 0 for 1 with a strikeout, as well as are a lot of these GOJO hitters, as Applegarth didn't surrender a hit while he was in and struck out 5. Swain kicks and delivers. Misses upstairs to Pease. Pease back in the box. Swain checking on Rolfe at first base. Swain slide steps and gets in there. Swing and a miss by Pease on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike for Hayden Swain here in the top half of the fourth inning. Swain using exclusively fastballs so far in the top half of this fourth inning. Slide step. And that is a called strike number 2 on Pease. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on the GOJO's DH. Swain has the mullet flowing out of the back of the hat. And I have to tell you, folks, I like the mullet. I'm a big mullet guy. I like Swain going with it. Movement on the pitch, but swing and a miss. And Caden Anderson is going to throw it down to Kostopoulos, and Pease is retired on the strikeout. So 1 hit for the GOJOs in the top half of the fourth inning, but Swain comes in and gets another 0 on the board for the Sixers. So we'll be back with the bottom of the fourth inning. Sixers lead 1-0 here against the Fort Collins GOJOs. You're watching Post 6 Baseball on the Capital City Sports YouTube channel. And we're back here at Powers Field. 1-0 lead for the Sixers here at the bottom of the fourth inning. Oberlander still on the mound for the GOJOs. Fisher Brown going to lead things off here for the Sixers. Bottom third of the order, Brown, Rodriguez, Lobmeyer due up here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sixers took the lead in the bottom of the third. Fisher squares around a bunt, fouls it straight back. It's a couple guys that have squared around a bunt today. Sixers trying to incorporate a little bit of small ball. Fisher dropped his barrel on that one. Probably a good thing that that went straight back. Oberlander back on the mound in the windup. Caden Anderson's RBI single last inning gave the Sixers the 1-run lead. Fisher flares one out into center field, and that's going to drop. That's the second hit of the day like that for Fisher Brown. That has just kind of dropped in between the shortstop and the center fielder, Fry and Gibbons, for the Fort Collins GOJOs, but they don't ask how. Fisher with a few bloop singles here today. That single brings to the plate Trenton Rodriguez. Rodriguez walked his first plate appearance. Fisher's moving on that pitch, and it is fouled back by Trenton Rodriguez. And just going off of manager Ty Lane's body language, I think he wanted Rodriguez to take that pitch and let Fisher steal that base, because as I said, Oberlander is not doing a very good job of holding these Sixer base runners, and they just have him timed up at first base right now. But Oberlander picks Fisher and Brown in easily. See if Brown decides to try to swipe second base here on the 0-1 pitch. He is not moving, and Rodriguez takes a ball upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rodriguez the DH today for the Sixers. Oberlander checks on Brown. Swing and a miss by Trenton Rodriguez. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Rodriguez here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Brown led the bottom of the fourth off with a single. He is still on first base. not moving, and ball outside on Trenton Rodriguez. So we're even 2-2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Oberlander comes set at the letters. Brown is moving on this pitch. Ball. So count goes to 3-2. No throw from Hamilton, so Brown takes second base easily. 3 balls, 2 strikes. If you're Rodriguez here, you want to hit something to the right side, get Brown to third base with less than 2 outs if you can. 3-2 pitch from Oberlander is a ground ball chopper to Gibbons. Gibbons scoops it and over the head of first baseman Rolfe. Brown gonna be held up at third base, and Rodriguez gonna advance to second base. So the throwing error there by Gibbons gives the Sixers second and third with no outs here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. That error brings to the plate Ty Lobmeyer. Lobmeyer walked his first plate appearance. We have second and third here in the bottom of the fourth. This is a chance for the Sixers to really extend this lead on the GOJOs. Oberlander, strike 1 on Ty Lobmeyer. I thought that pitch was maybe a little bit out, but strike number 1 on Ty Lob. Oberlander. Pitch fouled off by Lobmeyer over the first baseman's head. No balls, 2 strikes on Lobmeyer. GOJOs cutting the run here, infield in. So trying to limit the damage here as their bats have not been awakened. They do not want to fall behind by too much as now the shortstop, well, this is weird. Shortstop's the only guy that is not back, and Ty Lobmeyer takes strike 3. Thought about swinging, didn't go around, couldn't make a decision there, and struck out looking on that breaking ball from Oberlander. That is Oberlander's 6th strikeout on the day. And that brings the top of the Sixer order, Ben Bowman, up, and he takes ball 1. Really a weird defensive alignment here for the GOJOs. The right side of the infield is cutting it. The shortstop's playing about halfway, and the third baseman is cutting it. So Bowman fouls that pitch back. 1 ball, 1 strike. As I mentioned, the GOJO's outfielders are playing way in as the wind is still howling in from center field. So what could be easy to make a throw to the dish on a fly ball. Bowman takes strike 2. Second and third, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Bowman. Ground ball, slow roller up the third base line, and rolls foul. So Brown and Rodriguez stay put at second and third. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bowman. Boy, on a lot of these foul balls, you see batters shaking their hands after it. It's a cold day out there today. Easy to get stingers on those hands. Bowman back in the box, awaiting the 1-2 pitch from Oberlander. Trying to drive these runs in here in the fourth. Ball low, but Hamilton keeps that in front of him. No advance from either runner. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bowman. Bowman eyeing down Oberlander, awaiting the 2-2 pitch. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Bowman strikes out swinging. So back-to-back strikeouts for the Sixers after having second and third with nobody out. And that is something that the post-6 coaching staff, manager Ty Lane, giving Ben Bowman some advice as he walks back to the dugout. Got to imagine he was saying, just hit, put the ball in play and score us a run. But Coulter McAnally is the guy you want up in this situation. He's swung a hot bat all weekend, swings through that first pitch from Oberlander. Oberlander up to 7 strikeouts on the day. He's at 75 pitches, so probably getting towards the end of his day. We'll see how long GOJO's coaching staff leaves him in as McAnally takes ball 1. McAnally, the 1-1 count. Brown and Rodriguez still on second and third. Ball 2 on McAnally as that pitch misses low. Brown hit the bloop single in between the shortstop and center fielder. Rodriguez with the ground ball to shortstop, but the error by Gibbons throwing it over the first baseman's head and allowed Brown to advance to third and Rodriguez to advance to second. Oberlander kicks and fires. Ball outside, so 3 balls, 1 strike on McAnally. And the GOJOs are going to intentionally walk McAnally. They must have some intel that McAnally has been banging balls off the fence all weekend and would rather face Zach Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts on the day. See if he can drive in these Sixers runs. Probably a good decision by the GOJO's coaching staff there to walk McAnally, though seeing the game through my red and blue eyes, I would have liked to see McAnally get a chance to swing the bat right there. Kostopoulos, Sixer first baseman today. Bases loaded for him, chance to do some damage. Ball 1 outside. That was a bit of a wild pitch, but Hamilton was able to reach over and keep it in front of him. Be nice if the Sixers could get a free one to the backstop here. Kostopoulos awaiting the pitch from Oberlander. Kostopoulos fouls one off towards the parking lot. 1 ball, 1 strike on Zach Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos getting some words of encouragement from manager Ty Lane. We're ready to go here. Bottom of the 4th. 2 outs here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded for the Sixers in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Kostopoulos checks his swing, but doesn't matter as the home plate umpire calls it a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Zach Kostopoulos. This would be a huge letdown for the Sixers as they had runners on second and third with nobody out in this inning. Oberlander, breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kostopoulos. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the scoreboard here at Powers Field. Bottom half of the 4th inning, Sixers lead 1-0. Kostopoulos awaiting the 2-2 pitch from Oberlander, and that is fouled out of play. So Kostopoulos lives to see another pitch. McAnally at first, Rodriguez at second, Brown at third for the Sixers here. Oberlander's done a good job of working out of some jams. He's trying to do it again right here. And Kostopoulos fouls another pitch off. Really good at bat here from Zico. Kostopoulos back in the box, awaiting another 2-2 pitch from Oberlander. And that pitch misses outside, pushing the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs on the scoreboard, so Sixers runners will be moving here. Would be huge if Kostopoulos could put one into the outfield. Payoff pitch from Oberlander on its way, and Kostopoulos fouls another pitch off. Really good at bat here from Kostopoulos. He's spoiled some good pitches, keeps forcing Oberlander into a higher pitch count. He's up to 87 pitches, getting towards that 100 pitch mark. No stirring in the GOJO bullpen quite yet. I do see some movement down in the Sixer bullpen. Well, that might be somebody just standing out there. I can't tell. Kostopoulos awaiting the 3-2 pitch, and that ball is hit back up the middle, fielded by Gibbons, thrown over to Rolfe, and the Sixers are held to 0 runs in the 4th inning, leaving them loaded. Had second and third with nobody out, can't drive the runs in, but still lead 1-0. We'll be back after this with the top half of the 5th inning. And we're back here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-0 lead still intact for the Sixers. Hayden Swain still on the mound for post 6. And Sam Pease leading it off for, Kubat. Pease was the final out, and Kubat puts one back to Swain. Swain jogs it over, flips it to Kostopoulos for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Hayden Swain. Good to see Swain having success on the mound in his first outing as a Sixer. So, that ground out brings the plate Hunter Burkett. Burkett is 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Swain out of the windup. Ball just outside. 1 ball, no strikes on Burkett. Just the 1 hit for the GOJOs here today. Sixers pitching staff have done a great job as that pitch is fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Burkett awaiting the 1-1 pitch from Hayden Swain. And that pitch is swung on and skied into the air. Kostopoulos in pursuit, but that is going to get out of play down the right field line. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Burkett. Swain looks really in control on the mound right now. I like what I see out of him. Swain, the blonde locks flowing out of the back of the hat. The 1-2 pitch on its way to Burkett. Burkett swings, flares one out into right field, and it drops right in front of Bradley Feaser. So, hit number 2 on the day for the GOJOs as Burkett gets on with the 1-out single here in the top half of the 5th. That single brings up Kevin Hamilton, the GOJO catcher. Hamilton also 0 for 1 with a strikeout early on in this game. Swain going to be working out of the stretch after that bloop single by Hamilton. Swain misses upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes on Hamilton. Swain checks on Burkett at first base and fires. Burkett is moving. Anderson throws it down to second base. Throw just to the left side of the bag, and Burkett swipes second base. That was a tough pitch to throw on as it was riding in on the right-handed, hitting Hamilton, and Anderson had to kind of throw around Hamilton's head. And so man on second here for the GOJOs, looking to scratch their first run across against the Sixers here. Swain kicks and delivers. Ball upstairs to Hamilton. Hamilton is the 8-hole hitter, so towards the bottom of this GOJO lineup, would like to get these guys out before you get back to the top of the order. Swain checks on Burkett at second base, kicks and delivers, and that is a ball. That is ball 4 for Hamilton. There is some stirring down in the Sixer bullpen. And we will have a courtesy runner. Maybe. Yes, the GOJO's coach is calling for it, but it doesn't look like anyone's paying attention. And there we are. That courtesy runner for the GOJOs is number 7, Joey Court. So, 2 on here, 1 out in the top half of the 5th inning for the GOJOs. Really good opportunity for the GOJOs to try and tie this game up, possibly take the lead against the Sixers, as Swain's first pitch to Fordyce, who is now up after the walk to Hamilton, is a ball, and Caden Anderson wants to go talk things over with Hayden Swain. Bottom of the GOJO's order is up right now. In Fordyce, Brendan Fry awaiting in the on-deck circle. Fordyce batting from the left side. Swain comes set, checks on Burkett at second base, and Burkett is moving, both runners moving, and Burkett is in there, and Hamilton is safe at second base, but I think that pitch was a ball, two balls and no strikes on Fordyce, but both runners advance. Caden Anderson probably had a better chance to get the trail runner right there, as Burkett had that third base bag swiped pretty easily with Swain's high leg kick. Swain, pitch is fouled off by Fordyce. 2 balls, 1 strike. One out here in the top of the 5th inning. Swain trying to work out of this jam he's found himself in. Single by Burkett, and the walk to Hamilton and a pair of stolen bases puts the GOJOs in position to score. Ball outside from Swain. 3 balls and 1 strike. Swain getting the sign from catcher Caden Anderson, trying to work himself out of this jam he's found himself in. Swain misses upstairs. Must have been 2 balls and 1 strike. Three balls and 2 strikes, excuse me. I am way off on this one. But payoff pitch coming from Swain to Fordyce, as guys on second and third with 1 out. And that pitch is skied on the infield. Kostopoulos working his way under it and makes the play. 2 men out here in the 5th inning. That's a really big out for the Sixers, as they're able to get that out, as the GOJOs cannot drive a run in with less than 2 outs. So last inning we saw the Sixers not be able to drive a run in with less than 2 outs and men in scoring position, and GOJOs do the same thing here. See if the Sixers can limit them to 0 here in this 5th inning. Swain set at the belt. Brendan Fry at the plate for the GOJOs. And Fry fouls one off over the Sixer dugout. Fry 0 for 1 with a walk on the day. 1 strikeout as well. He walked to lead off the game and then was erased by that double play ball way back in the first inning. Swain, set at the belt, kicks and delivers, misses upstairs to Fry. Burkett on third and Hamilton on second. Gojo's trying to tie this game up, possibly take the lead here in the fifth inning. Swain gets his sign from catcher Caden Anderson, kicks and fires, and that ball also misses upstairs. So, 2 balls and 1 strike to the Gojo leadoff batter, Brendan Fry. Fry has a chance to do some damage here with runners in scoring position with 2 outs in the top of the fifth inning. Swain, set at the belt, delivers, and that pitch is swung on and fouled out towards the Sixer bullpen. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top half of the fifth inning. Swain looking in at Fry. Delivers the 2-2 pitch. That one flared out over Fisher Brown's head. Gets by Tafoya. Both runs are going to score. And Fry is going to be into second. That's one that Mason Tafoya just has to keep in front of him. And the Gojos take the lead on the RBI single. I'm going to give that a single with an error. Mason has got to keep that ball in front of him. So 2 runs in for the Gojos on that play, and Fry is at second base. Jake Kaufman up for the Gojos. Two to 1 our score here in the fifth inning. Swain trying to get out of this fifth inning. Ball 1 to Kaufman. Kaufman 0 for 2 on the day. He was the one who grounded into that double play way back in the first inning. Swain with the big leg kick. That ball is flared into right field. Feeser in pursuit, and that ball is going to push into the bullpen. Swain and McAnally not on the same page right there. I think McAnally wanted the pick attempt at Brendan Fry, and McAnally's going to go talk it over with Swain. I think McAnally wanted the spaghetti move as he was noticing Fry get off as he cleared out. So really a good read by McAnally. Swain's got to be on the same page as his shortstop in that situation. No balls, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swain delivers, makes a good athletic play on the comebacker, and throws Kaufman out at first base. So, Sixers get out of the inning, but do give up 2 runs on the hit by Brendan Fry. Sixers trail 2-1 here in the fifth inning. See if they can get those runs back right after this. And we're back with the bottom of the fifth inning here. GOJOs take the lead in the top half, and we have a new pitcher on for the GOJOs, and that is Cullen Verville. Oberlander goes 4 innings, fan 7, walks 3, gave up that 1 earned run, and scattered 4 hits throughout his 4 innings of work. Verville will be tasked with facing Feezer, Anderson, and Tafoya here in the bottom half of the fifth. Feezer takes ball 1 in the dirt. Feezer eyeing down Verville. Verville out of the windup. Delivers, and Feezer ground ball to Gibbons, and Gibbons retires Feezer with a good throw, and that is 1 out here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Not much offense to speak of here. Really good pitchers duel going on, as you would expect with the wind blowing in like it is from center field. Really tough to buy a hit. Caden Anderson fists one towards Sixer first base coach Gary Harley, and Verville is up 1 ball, no strikes on Anderson. Anderson 1 for 2 on the day with 1 strikeout. Anderson fouls one straight back. Anderson has the lone RBI for the Sixers today, coming way back in the 3rd inning. Anderson takes upstairs, ball 1. Anderson taking a few practice cuts. Oberlander swings. Anderson flares one out into left field and falls right in front of Brendan Fry and Jake Kaufman. So Anderson with his 2nd hit of the day. Hits not very spread out for the Sixers, as Keldon Hastings will come on to courtesy run for Anderson for the 2nd time today. Anderson with 2 hits, Brown with 2 hits, McAnally with 1 hit. So, Sixers have 5 hits, but 4 of them are from 2 guys. Verville checks on Hastings. Kicks and fires. Tafoya swinging bunt down the 3rd base line, but rolls foul. Tafoya 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the day. Tafoya down 0-1 in this count here in the 5th inning. Pickoff attempt, Hastings in safely. See if Verville keeps going with the high leg kick. Nope, slide steps that time, and another foul ball from Mason Tafoya. Really easy when you're a right-handed pitcher when you go with that high leg kick. It's pretty much immediate steal for these Sixer base runners when you take that long to go to the plate. Verville eyes Hastings. The high leg kick, and Tafoya grounds one. Verville off his glove. Tafoya runs well, and he is safe at first base. So, ball popping out of Verville's glove allows Tafoya to reach. So, 1st and 2nd here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sixers trying to answer that 2 spot that the GOJOs put up in the top half. That play brings up Fisher Brown 1st and 2nd here. That's a tough play, but one that Verville probably should make 9 times out of 10. And Hastings is moving on the pitch, and he is in safely at 3rd base. The GOJO's just doing absolutely nothing to hold these Sixers runners, as that pitch was outside to Brown. So, Brown 2 for 2 on the day. Now's a chance to drive that tying run in, and even the go-ahead run in to retake that Sixers lead. Brown takes strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. GOJOs are infield in, going to try to cut this run down at the plate on a ground ball. Verville, ball in the dirt, squirts away from the catcher, but not far enough for any movement from our base runners. Hastings stays put at third. Tafoya stays put at second. Brown with two bleeders in between the shortstop and center fielder, and the Sixers would take another one. Ground ball to the third baseman. Keldon Hastings going to test it, and the GOJOs cut him down. Probably the wrong decision from Hastings there. That ball was hit pretty well to the third baseman, Kubat, and Hastings is cut down at the dish. So 2 outs, first and third, as the GOJOs coaching staff wants to come talk this one over. Rodriguez to the plate after this mound visit. GOJO's coaching staff may be discussing first and third coverage. We'll see if Post 6 manager Ty Lane wants to put anything on here. We'll see if Verville continues to go with the high leg kick with Fisher Brown on first base. Fisher Brown jumping up and down, trying to keep himself warm. Rodriguez now tasked with trying to tie this ball game back up. To Foya on third and Brown on first. Brown, really good speed over at first base. I would assume the Sixers may put him in motion here. Not going on that play. Rodriguez sends one right back up the middle, but second baseman Fordyce plays it perfectly and steps on second base. GOJOs keep their 1-run lead intact. We'll be back with the top half of the 6th inning. You're watching Post 6 Baseball on the Capital City Sports YouTube page. And we're back here with the top half of the 6th inning. GOJO's lead 2-1. Nelson Gibbons leading it off here. Hayden Swain's day on the mound is done. He went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and Corey Williams is in. And Williams' first pitch is skied into the air. Kostopoulos in pursuit, Anderson in pursuit. Kostopoulos cannot make the play in foul territory, so Williams jumps up strike 1, but that would have been a nice first out for Corey Williams. Corey Williams, of course, has seen many Post 6 games. Super happy for him that he's now in a Sixer uniform. Longtime bat boy for the Sixers. As his 0-1 pitch to Gibbons is swung on and missed. Corey spent time between the Hawks and the Prep last year. Really good player and long time Sixer. He spent a lot of time at Powers Field watching Post 6 baseball games. And swing and a miss, his first batter faced is a strikeout. Corey Williams with the strikeout. Looking like his cousins, Brock and Brandon Anderson. I know he looks up to those guys, so awesome to see Corey getting that first strikeout on the same mound his cousins once dominated. Williams back on the bump. Strikeout. Brings up Rolf. Rolf grounds one to McAnally. McAnally makes the play, throws it over to Kostopoulos at first base, and that is a one pitch out for Aaron. Rolf is retired. Good play by McAnally there. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Really good job by Corey Williams here. That ground out brings up designated hitter Sam Pease. Had the privilege of coaching Corey last year. I nicknamed him the Terminator because he never shows any emotion. And strike 1 for Sam Pease. On Sam Pease, 0 balls, 1 strike. Williams, just a freshman. And that was a pretty good pitch from Corey Williams. I think he wanted that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Williams back on the bump. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike on Pease. Pease 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts on the day. Trying to turn his day around here in the top of the 6th inning. GOJO's lead 2-1. Williams thought he might have caught the inside corner there, but the count moves to 3-1 as the ump did not like that pitch. So 3 balls, 1 strike on Sam Pease. Williams trying to get back in the zone here and get the Sixers back in the dugout. Pease awaiting the pitch from Williams. And that, I believe, hit the elbow of Sam Pease. I thought maybe it hit the knob of the bat and shot out there. And Caden Anderson is saying the exact same thing. Being in the booth, I couldn't hear the sound it make, but Caden Anderson sure seems convinced, and Ty Lane's going to come have a conversation. He does not agree. They're going to go talk. The umpires are going to talk this one over. I wish it was a nice enough day to have the window open so I could have maybe heard the sound on that one, but I'm not opening this window today, folks. It's too cold. Pease didn't react like it hit him. He kind of just looked stunned, and then the umpire tapped his arm and awarded Pease first base. So umpires having a chat. Both Ty Lane and the GOJO's coach are having a chat. Anderson trying to rabbit ear the conversation of the umpires. And yep, they're going to put Pease back in the batter's box. Must have hit the knob of the bat, so that's going to go down as a foul ball and strike number 2, I believe, if they're going to bring him back. And yep, Tyler Kubat hands the bat back to Pease and says, yep, you're going to need this to finish this at bat. So Corey Williams pushes the count to 3-2, I believe that is. We'll wait for confirmation from the umpire, but that is what I think, and he's not going to flash us the count. So I'm going to go with 3-2, and that ball hit Pease's knob. So full count here, 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Williams, that pitch fouled straight back. Now it's for sure 3-2 if that's the case. Pease thought he had a hit by pitch there. I thought that looked weird just because Pease didn't react. Williams, ball low. Now Pease will get first base. So the walk brings to the plate Kubat. Ty Lane is out discussing with the home plate umpire. I thought it was 3 balls and 2 strikes. Post 6's Game Changer has it down at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not sure who's running that. The umpires are going to go have a discussion. Good thing is it's all on video. We can go rewatch it on the Capital City Sports YouTube page and figure out who's right, whether it's the umpires or Ty Lane. Not sure what's going on. Both umpires are standing back. Are they going to call Pease back again, or is somebody... I'm not sure what is going on. The umpire is walking over. There is somebody having a discussion right on the edge of the GOJO dugout that's talking to the base umpire. Folks, you can catch the action all year long on this Capital City Sports YouTube page. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in this weekend. Had an extremely fun time last night with KFBC Radio's Keith Kelly. Excited for the rest of the summer with him. When KFBC is here, we'll be taking the audio. He and I will do the game together like we did last night. And you can catch us on KFBC Radio, or you can catch us here on this YouTube page. Follow us at CCS307 on Twitter for Post 6 baseball updates all year long. Well, there's nobody on first base, so they do bring Pease back for another one. This is an interesting turn of events here. You see something new every time you come out to the ballpark, and now it's ball 4 for Pease, and you hear the cheer from the GOJO's dugout is... I'm going to wait and make sure they don't call Pease back, but I think he should stay on that one. So, Kubat up to the plate for the third time in the last 2 minutes, but has yet to see a pitch. This is his first official at-bat. Or excuse me, not his first official at-bat. First at-bat here in the 6th inning, even though he's been in the box twice. And Williams misses 1 ball, no strikes. Kubat 0 for 1. With a walk today, as Pease is on first base, and he's officially going to stay there as Kubat has seen a pitch in this at-bat. Williams eyes it and misses upstairs. Corey Williams retired the first 2 batters, the strikeout and a ground out, and then had the adventure with Sam Pease that ended up resulting in a walk. Now facing Tyler Kubat here with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. GOJO's lead 2-1. Williams, pickoff attempt at Pease. Pease in safely. Williams back on the bump, trying to get the Sixers back into this dugout with just the 1-run deficit. Williams kicks and delivers. Strike number 1 from Williams. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's going to be tough on a cold day like this when there's conversations and, umpires walking over to dugouts. You get cold while you're standing out on the mound there. But Williams back in the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Williams delivers. And ball inside. Pretty good pitch there from Williams. 3 balls, 1 strike to Kubat. So, after retiring the first 2 men, Williams losing control a little bit here after the walk to Pease. Goes 3-1 on Kubat. Williams checks the runner at first, kicks and delivers, and ball upstairs. So back-to-back walks for Corey Williams. He's trying to work his way out of a 2-out jam here in the 6th inning. All on him. He's walked back-to-back hitters, and that's going to get you into trouble. It's not the hit that kills you. It's the walks before it. So that walk to Kubat brings up Hunter Burkett. And Burkett is 1 for 2 with a run scored. He has also struck out 1 time on the day. Strikeout would be huge here for Corey Williams if he could send Burkett back to the dugout in this at-bat. Williams checks on the runner at second. McAnally called for the spaghetti move. Williams steps over, nothing doing there. Pease on second, Kubat on first. Williams kicks and fires. Ball misses upstairs. Williams trying to find it Once again, he had it early on in this inning, but has lost command a little bit. 1-0 on Burkett. 2-1 lead here for the GOJOs. Williams checking in on Pease at second. And swing and a miss by Burkett on the inside fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Corey Williams. Or for Corey Williams. Excuse me. Williams checking in on Pease. McAnally working in behind him. Williams steps over once again. Nothing doing. Pease not going anywhere quite yet. Williams back on the rubber. 1-1 count here to Burkett. Williams, the 1-1 pitch is swung on, fouled towards the Sixer dugout. Ty Lane pops out and tries to fire it back. Nobody looking, so he'll put it in his pocket. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Burkett would be huge if the Sixers could get out of the top of this 6th inning with a 0 and keep that score right at 2-1 in favor of the GOJOs. Williams checking in on Pease. Kicks and delivers. Ball low. Pease going to try to take second. Third, he does. Caden Anderson tries to throw behind and get Kubat at second. Unsuccessfully does that. So the ball in the dirt leads to advancing runners for the GOJOs. Second and third here with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Burkett, though. Corey Williams could get out of this inning unscathed. Williams, another ball in the dirt. Count goes to 3-2. Williams eyeing the sign from Caden Anderson, comes set at the belt, and the payoff pitch from Williams is just inside, and that is ball 4 to Burkett. So bases loaded here, and catcher Kevin Hamilton to the plate for the GOJOs. Hamilton is 0 for 1 with a walk, does have a run scored in this game. 1 strikeout on the day for Hamilton. Williams trying to get out of this jam. All self-induced here. All walks. Ball upstairs for Corey Williams, and Ty Lane's going to jog out and have a conversation with his young pitcher. Probably a good decision, as the last 3 batters have been walked by Corey Williams after retiring Rolfe and Gibbons. Gibbons struck out to start the inning. Rolfe grounded out to shortstop Coulter McAnally, and that's when things got interesting for Corey Williams as he's walked Pease, Kubat, and Burkett. Hamilton trying to extend this GOJO's lead. Ty Lane out having a conversation. Home plate umpire's going to go break it up. Joking around with Keith Kelly last night. There's just a art to mound visits and how long they wait, especially when you're trying to heat somebody up in the bullpen. I don't see any stirring in the Sixers bullpen, but I have a little bit of an obstructed view due to the dugout, so who knows. Williams back on the bump, ready to go. 1 ball, no strike here to Hamilton. Williams fires strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th inning. Hamilton awaiting the 1-1 pitch from Williams. Williams with the high leg kick. Fires it and fouled down the right field line and out of play. So whatever Ty Lane went out and said worked, and it is 1-2 on Hamilton. Corey Williams tried to get out of this inning with the score still 2-1 GOJOs. Bases loaded here for the GOJOs. Williams sets at the belt. High leg kick, fires, and strike 3. Go sit down, and Corey Williams does a great job of working out of that jam. So, GOJOs leave them loaded in the top half of the 6th inning. And the Sixers are going to try to tie it up, maybe retake the lead here in the bottom half of the sixth. We'll be back after this. And we're back here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Ty Lobmeyer going to lead things off here for the Sixers. Big inning right there for the Sixers defensively, and to get out of that one, only down one run. GOJO's left the bases loaded. Verville still on the mound for the GOJOs. Verville fires strike one to Ty Lobmeyer. Ty is 0 for 1 on the day with a walk, does have one strikeout on the day. And ball one from Verville. 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the sixth inning. 2-1 GOJOs. Lobmeyer awaiting the pitch from Verville, and that misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count on Sixers second baseman Ty Lobmeyer. Verville out of the windup, ball low once again. 3 balls, 1 strike. Be huge if the Sixers could get the leadoff base runner on, try to move him around and get him in. I would imagine a leadoff base runner. We may see a bunt from Ben Bowman. Ball 4. So we will see if manager Ty Lane elects to play some small ball or if he's going to let Bowman swing it. Bowman, really a talented bunter. I've had the privilege of coaching him the last 2 years, and that's something he's really worked hard on. Would not surprise me one bit if he tries it, but we will see. Lobmeyer takes his lead off first base. Verville checks on Lob and fires. Nope. Ground ball, swinging bunt worked the same way. So that really couldn't have worked out any better. Now McAnally up with a guy with Lobmeyer in scoring position. Good job by Bowman to get Ty Lobmeyer into scoring position. Any way you can, I guess. McAnally, 1 for 2 on the day with a walk. McAnally Awaits the pitch from Verville, and strike one from Cullen Verville. Verville has come in, done a good job as well as Oberlander. He's worked 1 1/3 inning, only given up 1 hit, 1 walk, no strikeouts. And Lobmeyer is trying to steal third, and he is safe. No tag applied from third baseman Tyler Kubat, and Lobmeyer with the huge stolen base right there, and that makes Colter McAnally's job a heck of a lot easier. See if McAnally can drive in Lobmeyer and tie this game up at 2. Verville, leg kicks, fires, and McAnally takes ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Sixers shortstop. McAnally awaiting the 1-2 pitch from Verville. And that pitch is swung on, grounded out to second base. Lobmeyer going to test it, and he is thrown out at the dish by Andy Fordyce. They were cutting the run. Lobmeyer tested it and got thrown out at home plate. Good play by Andy Fordyce there. Tough turn of events from the Sixers. Ty Lobmeyer getting some coaching as he walks back to the dugout from manager Ty Lane. Tough one right there. McAnally on first. Zach Kostopoulos at the plate now. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Foul ball on the first pitch of the at-bat to Kostopoulos, 0-1. Sixers have had some chances to score. That's the second guy they've had cut down to the dish. McAnally stealing, and Kostopoulos fouls it off. But, like I said, Sixers have had chances to score. Have had 2 guys cut down in infield in situations. So GOJO's doing a good job defensively of limiting the Sixers as much as possible. Kostopoulos, 0-2. McAnally going once again, breaking ball, misses, and McAnally is out at second base. So 2 outs on the base pass here for the Sixers in the bottom of the 6th, and the GOJOs are fired up. They still lead. GOJOs lead 2-1. We'll be back with the top half of the 7th after this. And we're back here in the top half of the 7th. 9-1-2 here for the GOJOs in their order. Andy Fordyce, who cut Ty Lobmeyer down at home plate in the last inning, leads us off here. Corey Williams still on the mound for the Sixers. Williams working out of the windup. First pitch to Fordyce, misses just inside. 1-0. Corey out of the windup, fires, and strike. Catches the outside corner, 1-1 on Andy Fordyce. Really good play by Fordyce there. I thought Ty Lobmeyer was maybe going to be able to beat that out, but Fordyce scooped it up and made a good throw to catcher Kevin Hamilton. and that pitch misses just outside. Not too much different than the last one, but just a little bit further out. And that pitch is swung on and skied in between Tafoya and McAnally. Tafoya comes in, calls McAnally off, and makes the play. Good play by Mason Tafoya right there for the first out of the inning. And that brings to the plate center fielder Brendan Fry. Fry, 1 for 2. He has both RBIs for the GOJOs, and that came back in the 5th inning. It's exactly how you do it. Infielder's ball until the outfielder calls him off. Good job by both guys right there. Williams, strike 1 to Fry. Williams, out of the windup. Fry, awaiting the pitch. He checks his swing, and Caden Anderson asks for help. And the first base umpire says he went, which is an interesting move with a lefty up. Quite the angle that he had on that one. But nonetheless, Corey Williams will take it 0-2. Williams. Ball outside. Good 0-2 pitch there from Williams. Bit of a waste pitch. The waste pitch is starting to go away a little bit in baseball, as especially in the major leagues, as some of these guys get up in the 10, 12, 13 strikeout games, thanks Trevor Bauer. And the 1-2 pitch from Williams is low, so Fry has worked it from 0-2 back to 2-2. Jake Kaufman waiting in the on-deck circle. And Fry skies one. Fisher Brown working his way under it in foul territory, and he makes the play falling down. Good play by Fisher Brown. That is a really tough play with how hard this wind is blowing. I thought that was going to be more in the Bermuda Triangle area, but between McAnally, Brown, and Tafoya, but the wind just pushed that forward, and Brown made the really good play falling over. So 2 outs for the Sixers here in the top of the 7th, trying to keep this deficit at just 1 run. And Jake Kaufman to the plate. He is 0 for 3 on the day. Williams misses just inside. Williams out of the windup still, as nobody's reached base yet, and strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kaufman. Williams getting his sign from Caden Anderson. And the home plate umpire says Kaufman went around on that one. Kaufman tried to check his swing on the off-speed pitch from Williams, but was unsuccessful. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Sixers trying to keep this deficit at 1 run, and a swing and a miss, and the Terminator shows a little emotion running off the mound. Great job by Corey Williams keeping this 2-1 deficit intact, and the Sixers are going to try to tie it up or win the game in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th. You're watching Post 6 Baseball on the Capital City Sports YouTube page. We'll be back in just a second. back here with the bottom of the 7th inning. Zach Kostopoulos leading things off. It'll be Kostopoulos, Fieser, and Anderson trying to get things going here. Cullen Verville still on the mound for the Sixers, and Kostopoulos puts one into the left center gap, and Fry is in pursuit. Kostopoulos held to a single. Good play right there by Fry, and Kostopoulos gets things going, and it looks like we are going to have a pinch runner for Zach Kostopoulos. That's going to be Keegan Bartlett on to run. So Bartlett in to run, Fieser at the dish. Good swing by Zach Kostopoulos to get things going here at the bottom of the 7th. Sixers down 2-1, trying to at least tie this game to extend it, possibly get 2 runs to win it. Fieser is at the dish. Verville checking on Bartlett. And Fieser, ground ball, Gibbons makes the play, gets up, fires. Really good sliding play by Nelson Gibbons right there to retire Fieser. But Bartlett does move up to second base, so a single here could possibly tie this game up for the Sixers. Really good play there by Nelson Gibbons. Sliding deep in the 6th hole, popped up and fired a dart to Aaron Rolfe at first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th for the GOJOs. GOJOs still lead 2-1. Verville. Taking his time on the mound right now. Nobody holding Bartlett at second base. Bartlett could get a pretty good jump here if shortstop Gibbons starting to work in. Be interesting to see. GOJOs have not done a great job of holding runners on, and I think their coaching staff is going to come out and have a meeting about just that. They need to get on the same page, or the Sixers are going to take third base once again. So, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Caden Anderson at the dish after Zach Kostopoulos led the inning off with a single. Keegan Bartlett came in to pinch run for him. Bradley Fieser grounded out to the shortstop on a great play by Nelson Gibbons, bringing to the dish Caden Anderson. Caden is 2 for 3 on the day with the lone Sixer RBI. He does have 1 strikeout. It would be nice if he could get another hit and plate another run for his 2nd RBI of the day. Second baseman is working in. Nobody around Bartlett. Anderson takes strike 1 on the first pitch of the at-bat. Bartlett taking his lead off of second base. Anderson swings, fouls one over the top of the GOJO dugout. So Anderson down 0-2 in this count. Going to have to battle all the way back, maybe get a 2-strike hit. Some timely hitting for the Sixers here is what manager Ty Lane is looking for. Mason Tafoya waiting on deck. Anderson and the Nelson Gibbons flashes, but no pick move from Verville. Bartlett back in easy. He does step off the back of the mound, but still 0-2 here on Caden Anderson. Anderson fouls another pitch off towards the parking lot. 0-2 here on the Sixer catcher. 2 for 3 on the day is Caden Anderson. Anderson looking to drive in Bartlett and tie this game up here in the bottom of the 7th. Bartlett taking a healthy lead, and Verville doesn't like it and steps over and sends Bartlett back to second base. No throw, but does let Bartlett know he's thinking about him. And ball number 1 to Caden Anderson. That was a very quick pitch there. That may not have been a balk, but he was trying to work quickly, didn't want Bartlett to get off first base. Or second base, excuse me. Bartlett taking a lead. Both middle infielders working in, and Caden Anderson calls time. This GOJO team just really doesn't look like they have a very good system for holding runners on second base. We've seen third base get swiped a couple times today, and now they're trying, but it's not very organized. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt to Caden Anderson. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Anderson back in the box, awaiting the 2-2 pitch from Verville. And that pitch misses inside. Almost got the jersey of Caden Anderson on the inside part of the batter's box. But 3 balls, 2 strikes to the Sixer catcher. See if he can get on base and pass the torch to Mason Tafoya. And he will. Ball 4 on Caden Anderson. So, first and second here for the Sixers. And Tafoya is up. Tafoya 0 for 3 with a strikeout on the day. Verville up to 34 pitches on the day, so no pitch count issues for Verville, and Hastings will come in and courtesy run for Caden Anderson. Hastings done that quite a bit today. So, winning run on base for the Sixers, tying run on second, winning run on first. We'll see if Mason Tafoya can drive him in. Ball upstairs on the first pitch of the at-bat to Tafoya. Tafoya, another young guy on this Sixers team. Lots of young guns on this Sixers team. Only 4 seniors this year. And Bartlett is off. Tafoya puts one into center field. And it's going to get over Brendan Fry's head. And Bartlett's being waved home. Hastings being waved home. The throw to the dish is late. And that's a walk-off single for Mason Tafoya. Great swing by Tafoya, bringing in Bartlett and Hastings. And Tafoya walks off the GOJOs. The Sixers win this one 3-2. Just a great performance there. Way to grind and get back late in the game. Great effort by the pitching staffs of both teams. Sixers win this one 3-2. We'll be back for the second half of this split double header. Sixers play at 4:30, I believe. I will post all of the information on the CCS Twitter page at CCS307. Thanks everyone for joining us, and congratulations to Mason Tafoya. Great swing. Way to go get that win for the Sixers. Sixers move to 3-1 on this young season. We will be back with that second game, like I said, at 4:30. I will post the link on all my social medias. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.